turning 3 years, and my closest friends are not. Karen is not. Charlie is not. And I don't believe I pressure my friends into getting married. And I don't believe, it's not I don't believe, I wasn't pressured into getting married. Kwa hiyo, Karen can testify, but I strongly believe kwamba there are certain cultures that do have a pressure in getting married. Kwamba when you're the age of 25, 27, you're not married, you're considered old. But generally, I don't think that pressure kicks in up until you're like in your late 30s.
Personally, yourself now.
Yes, me personally, I wasn't pressured into getting married.
Yeah.
And
no, I'm talking about your age, in your late 30s. People always get their own pressure without being pressured. They get their own pressures when
I
they're...
strongly believe it's an internal pressure that gets to you that, okay, get married. Because if you're talking about the general society, I can't say. Maybe Karen is going to explain that more in where she comes from, and I'll explain it more from where I come from. Because I come from the Arab Indian community where there is a pressure of getting married when you're a certain age. You can't be 27 and not married. You can't be 26 and not married. I got married young. I got married when I was 23. But I don't believe I was pressured into getting married. I wanted to marry my husband. And I wanted to marry my husband because I strongly believe I, as a person or as a woman, need a man that understands me. For me, understanding me comes first before loving me. And this man gave me that. He understood me. He understood, okay, my wife is not okay right now. Maybe she needs help. Maybe she needs a push. Maybe she needs some word of motivations. Maybe I wasn't pressured into getting married, but the community I come from does pressure women when you reach a certain age, and that's not a lie. But I believe women, apart from being pressured with their society, they tend to be pressuring themselves internally. And it's worse when you're doing it yourself. I'll give the floor to Karen so she can explain us what her society does or how her society thinks.
Yes.
She's from the Arab Indian, it's different. Period. Well, I mean, what can I say? Well, I'm a pure Tanzania. Don't worry. The hair is just, just so. Well, and our society, there is no. I have not seen that pressure because maybe I'm not pressured. I'm not pressured to be married. Maybe because of some certain circumstances that I've passed for the past 2-3 years back that have not put me in a position where I can feel pressured to be married at this point. So, what I can say is the pressure is there. The pressure of getting married without the society thing, like, you have that. Either you're an Arab, either you're an African, either you're Swahili, either you're from wherever. We have that thing. Especially when the age of 25 kicks in, that is where I've seen people with that age. I can even testify. I have cousins back then and who have yet not to be married and who are thinking of getting married, but they don't have the right people, as how they coach. I don't have the right person to marry me. But when that age arrived, that is where the pressure comes on. Like, I'm 26. Like, I don't have a proper person to marry me or stuff. And as how Ahlam said, that there is that thing called internal pressure where it kicks in when a person wants to feel that pressure. But personally, I feel like there is peer pressure. Like, we see people that we're surrounded with, and we get that thing like, someone is married and that age is coming, and I've not even settled in a proper relationship. And also the thing where girls nowadays have the tendency of the so-called being too picky. Like, I'm waiting for the perfect person. I'm waiting for the right man. I'm waiting for a guy who is a little bit tall, a little bit skinny, a little bit light-skinned, a guy who has a car, a guy who has settled that. So from the circumstances of choosing that I need this person, and then your age kicks in and you feel like, I've not even get the person that I was having in
That
my
I
own
was
imagination.
dreaming of.
And then that is where that
The
thing comes
angel
in.
you were making.
Exactly. That is where that thing kicks in. For example, maybe me right now, I start like, I always wanted this type of a person, and then I haven't got that person yet. And then I see my friends married. For example, Ahlam is married, and then I'm like, oh, she's married. Maybe my cousins are married. Then I'm like, I've always been too picky. So the thing of being too picky and with the relation of the pressure, the peer pressure, the picky style that girls have nowadays, and the age number, they align together because at a very huge rate of number, even the report says, different reports, BBC, other podcasts from worldwide, they say that we girls, I mean the young women of this generation, had a tendency of saying people are getting married because of love. It's very low nowadays. People want men who can provide for them. I mean, girls want men who can provide for them, who can feed on their needs. People are getting married because a man can buy her Benz. People are getting married because a man can buy her Louis Vuitton. People are getting married because a man can send her to Maldives, to Bali for vacations, not because of love nowadays. So when girls of this age see that, they want exactly the type of men they see people are getting, and they can be the people around them that are influencing them to be that type of a person. And then at that rage, when they want those kind of people, they don't get them. It is just being delusional. People can do these things nowadays. They post places where they are, they post the hands of their man, they post shoes, bags, and then they're like, oh, my rich baby daddy bought me this, my rich daddy bought me this. But it's not true. Some of them, they don't live in their reality, and this pose for many young, I don't know about the Western, but for many young African girls to have the delusional that I want this kind of a person. I want a person who can behave like this, a person who can provide this for me. But when we come, there is nothing like that. Then when they reach to that age, they're like, I don't get this type of a person. But in reality, it's because they're living in an delusional life. So yeah, I mean, it's the pressure is there, and the media too has caused this a lot for these couple years. And yeah, I mean, we see different superstars, people who we follow on Instagram. Some girls live the life that these people are living, but not seeing that their culture does not support that. So this all falls in the line where when a person reaches at the age where her culture wants her to get married and they have not get that right person, the pressure even grows more.
Yes.
Then and they're like, oh, I've just been living in a fantasy, so right now I have now to get whatever is there. They get to take the person who's just right there. They don't get married for love anymore. It's just because the family is pressuring her, or friends, or cousins, or sisters, or whatever. So they pick the person who just comes to the door and get off and get married.
And
Not right.
I think I'll add something when you say they just get married to anyone. That's where right now, when you look at a lot of people who are married, they don't stay long in their marriage.
A good
That's it.
example, Tanzania has a statistics. I think it was around March, around 51 marriage percent have always been breaking up each week. 51%. Each
You
week,
know,
young couples are breaking up, breaking up, breaking up, breaking up.
I also think the rate of divorce is high because when people choose they want to get married, they don't understand what they're getting themselves into.
Into
People think marriage is the one you see on Instagram, people taking pictures, people smiling, people laughing. They don't tune their brains into what they're getting into. I will tell you something. I was told, never marry a man you love. Marry a man that loves you. And this comes from the fact that a man knows who he wants. A man knows who he loves. If a man does not love you, he's never gonna love you, even if he marries you.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I think a lot of people also mistake is when you choose to marry a person, pressured or not, love shouldn't be the only thing you look at. Fine, you guys love each other. But I'm gonna tell you something. Marriage is not run by love. Fine, you love each other. So what? Is love gonna pay the bills? You marry a man that has
bring food,
no job, no work, no business, but you love each other. Is that love gonna pay the bills?
no, it won't last long. You just find yourself fighting a lot in the house.
Exactly. And the one thing about women, we are beings that love to be spoiled. We love the sharing of gifts. We love the sharing of attention. You want your man to spoil you. Okay, so you guys love each other, but what next?
You'll be staying in that marriage for 2 weeks and you find yourself saying, oh, so you never even bought me chocolate, just something small.
Exactly. And people think these are small things, kwamba, oh, I'll be patient. Girl, you won't be patient. We are needy creatures. We are needy creatures. You're not married, and yet when your man does not give you a gift, you get
it's a problem.
You get yes. Now imagine your husband does not give you a gift for your birthday, or your husband does not give you a gift when you think you deserve a gift as a wife.
Leave out. I think you should leave out even giving a gift. Even doesn't remember, the attention of, I remember today is my wife's birthday. When you ask, oh, I was so busy, I was trying to look for a job, that's also a problem. Like, you'll be that's where now you also have fights.
And you might think these are like petty excuses, but trust me, in marriage it's always the smallest things that break up a marriage. Not the big ones, not the cheating, not the lying. It's the, you forgot my birthday, you didn't take me out for my birthday, you didn't do me this, you told me you would get this but you didn't get me this, you lied to me. It's the small things that pile up and then just burst. And the other thing I want women to understand is, don't be delusional when you're choosing your man, but don't lower your standards. Don't lower your standards. And I'm not talking about the physicality of this man. Like, don't judge a man, oh, he's not tall enough. This man may not be tall enough, but he ticks all your other boxes. He's caring, he's kind, he's loving, he's understanding, but he's short. And then you get a tall guy that is rude, he's a liar, he's a serial cheater. So don't lower your standards, but then again, don't be delusional. Because when you choose to get married, remember, that's a forever thing. That's going to be the father of your kids. The person that will be with you when you're pregnant, when you're going through postpartum depression, when you're vomiting and you're sick, he's the one that's going to be next to you. So you better be sure that this person I am choosing will be next to me. And never give in to the pressure, not internal pressure, not pressure that comes with society. Because when you do something with pressure, let alone men, even your own exams, when you study under pressure, you won't understand anything.
Yeah.
So imagine you marry a person under pressure. This is the biggest decision in your life, and you're doing it under pressure.
And it's under pressure.
So no, the biggest decision in your life was probably the worst decision you've ever made because you made it under pressure.
Yeah. So true.
And the other thing I like people is, men are there. Marriage is there. I admit I got married young, but that does not mean that you do the same thing, especially if you find the man to do it with. Don't focus. I remember when my mom was telling me that, okay, um, there's a man that wants to marry you, because I wasn't dating my husband. I said no. I want to study. I want to go for my master's. But then I gave this man a chance. Okay, let me talk to him. But my mentality was not marriage, 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 marriage. So even women, regardless of age, don't think of marriage, 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 marriage. Because even when you get married, what are you bringing to the table?
Exactly. Yeah, I think you should focus on building what you wanted to build since you were young.
Yeah, build yourself as a woman.
Yeah.
Have that confidence. Because the one thing I believe is when you build yourself, you attract what you build. So if these
Exactly. Yeah.
delusions that are in your head are, I want a man that takes me to Maldives, are you taking yourself to
Are you
Maldives?
taking yourself to Maldives?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But how are you going to tell a man to take you to Maldives and he's like, you don't even own a passport?
I I think that's type of a meme that is also going around right now. Like, why do you want to go to Maldives or you don't even have a
Word.
passport yourself? You don't hold any passport to
Yeah.
even take you to. Maybe if
I,
you're
I,
in Tanzania, you can't even go to Kenya. You're thinking about
You
Maldives.
Yani, you attract who you are. You want to date or marry rich men. Do you hang out in rich places? Do you dine in rich places? And for
I
you
think
to
that,
dine in, you need to afford them.
yeah. What did I want to say? I wanted to say something. A friend of mine told me, I mean, she knows this. There is a thing called loving yourself.
Yes.
So, yeah. So I
I am
believe when you love,
I'm the biggest of loving yourself.
so yeah, I believe when a person loves her, even these things of being pressured, hurrying to be married, settling down, does not come first. Comes
Yes.
first,
Yeah.
loving yourself first, taking care of yourself. You love yourself, even being worried about being bought a car, I don't know, taking yourself to Maldives or whatever, will just come on its own because you're loving to work hard, aim your that for yourself. So even if you don't get the person who cannot do that for you, you can be capable of doing that on your own because you love yourself that much to do everything that you want to do.
Yes. And the other thing why I'm focusing on loving yourself more, why I'm talking about women more or focusing on the women's side is because as women, we we have a lot of roles in people's lives. And all of our roles and responsibility requires sacrifice. You're someone's sister. You need to sacrifice for your brothers. You're someone's daughter. You need to sacrifice certain things for your parents. You're someone's wife. You need to sacrifice certain things for your husband. And when you become someone's mother, that's the ultimate sacrifice. That
Yeah.
means your whole life is based on your kids. So before you choose to do that, ensure you have some certain level of loving yourself where it will keep you sane. But as women, we fail to understand that loving ourselves does not come before any, it does not come after loving a man. Mimi, I will tell you, and I'm sure you guys have seen, I don't know about outside of Tanzania, because I've lived here, I've studied here, I've been here most of my life. But you see the rich men always go out with women that love themselves or put themselves to a certain standard.
Mm.
And I'm going to tell you this is because men are attracted with women that love themselves, be it physically, mentally, emotionally. How you choose to love yourself is defined by yourself. How you choose to take care of yourself only depends of that person. So if we say we give in to the pressure of getting married, that means we don't love ourselves as much. If we choose as women, we want to build men, we don't love ourselves as much.
Yeah.
A lot of us have been through relationships where we believe if we try just hard enough, maybe this man will change. Yes. Maybe if we do something different, maybe this man will treat me better. But I'm sure all three of us have been through that relationship and can attest that it's never worked.
It doesn't work at all.
Exactly. It has never worked. And you give in your all, and it has never worked. But what will always work is loving yourself. I know this is not the topic, but I feel like it somehow radiates to that.
It should be.
Yeah. Kwamba, these are things that relate, because women should not think that building a man is your responsibility. Apana. Love yourself enough to say that I might love you, but this is not going to work out. So
Exactly.
I'm going
Yeah.
to exit, because building you is not my responsibility. Even when it comes to the pressure of getting married, when people pressure you, I will not put myself into this pressure, and I will politely exit from this conversation that is just going to make me feel a certain way. It's why I believe that people might be pressured, ndio, lakini we should not give in to that pressure.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Ila mimi, I think I have seen people who are pressured in the society and they get themselves into the pressure. Yani, unakuta she doesn't know a person that much but would want to get in the marriage thing with him. And if you ask the person, yes, I love this person so much, so I want to marry him, but are you sure you're ready? Not because that friend of yours got married, because I don't know. I don't know how to say it. I'm saying pressure because I've seen friends who have seen friends getting married, so they also want to get married. They won't say it. They'll just say, I love that person. And after some times, after the marriage, maybe after a month, 2 months, okay, some people can even reach 6 months, they'll come to you crying. And if you ask, maybe after the 6 months, and if you ask, if that friend is very open with you, they will tell you, after my marriage, after maybe 1 month after my marriage, this guy started doing 1, 2, 3. Why? At that moment, you can't be blaming the girl, like, why did you get yourself in that? But obvious, if it was me, I would still say it, like, why did you put yourself there? Like, I'll be asking you questions that will make me ask why. Did you know him enough? If I scroll on Instagram, I saw one of these pastors. He said, mostly as women, we have that habit, and it's true. We love tolerating things that we shouldn't tolerate. As you guys also said, I think both of you talked about the same thing. Like, we're that thing of he'll change. Let me be there. So we are tolerating. He said, if God, in any religion, but if God gives you the first sign, like this person, he gave example of drinking. This person, his habit of drinking is not normal. He drinks too much, in an extent, like maybe you guys can start fighting. It's not a normal drinking, like I'm taking 2 bottles to you. No, he drinks too much, in which you cannot even control him.
Yeah.
But then he said, when you ask him, he just says, oh, I'm stressed, I'm not okay, there's a lot of things and all that, that's why I'm drinking. So you as a woman, you'll be like, he's just stressed. When he's stressed, that's how he does it. Then he said, now imagine you agree to get married to him. It means that's more stress. Remember, he'll be having a family. A family is a stress. He has to take care of it. He goes to work, is stress. Like, outside is stress, inside is stress. Just imagine the limit of him drinking. Will it be there? Problem will be more.
Yeah.
And then we'll all turn back to, like, you saw the red flag and you ignored the red flag. you're still there. In the name of what? In the name of my friends
He'll
got married, I want to get married. In the name of he will change. I don't know what's going on, but I think I've seen a lot of people, to my side, I've seen a lot of people getting married because of pressure, and just after not only getting married, and I've seen how people get lied because of marriage. Should I say it? If you want me to marry you, like I'm so eager to get married, and I might say, if you want me to marry you, please give me a child first.
Yeah.
I've seen that too, and they end up being single mothers. They end up there, like no child, just single mothers. The man that said I'll marry you is there marrying someone else. So I really don't know what's going on in this generation, but to my side, I've seen some pressure, which I really wish the advice you gave out, when I bring this out, I really wish people would listen to that type of advice. It's really nice. Like, we shouldn't pressure ourselves. We should love us. We should build us to, like, if you I believe when we were young, we all had a dream. Like, I want to be this. I want to be this. Even if right now you're not working in a bank, but I believe you can be an entrepreneur. You can push yourself somewhere, you as a woman, and inside that you can attract the person you want, that you will study each other, you will learn about each other, someone who will understand you, love you as you want, treat you as you want, understand you so much in a way that you say, I'm now ready, without pressure. When he just comes says, let's get married, you say yes. No pressure, no family thing, no friends thing, no peer pressure. Yeah, no, nothing. So guys,
Karen,
do you have... Yes, I
I
wanted to
want to
ask, do you
say
have
something.
something to add?
Yeah, and I'm gonna say in a very Swahili purely language for anyone who is from the East Africa or Tanzanians girls to get it better. Kwenye hii nchi kuna kitu kina watatiza sana mabinti, ikiwemo kama ulivyoongelea hapo swala zima la ndoa. Ila kuna kitu nilikitaja mwanzo na nitakirudia tena kwa Kiswahili, kuchagua. Unakuta binti katika alivyokuwa kwenye umri wa 25, 26, 27 alikuwa tayari labda ana biashara yake ndogo na ana uwezo wa kujilipia kodi na nini, akapata mtu wa kuhitaji kumuoa, lakini yeye akaona kwamba labda siko tayari kuingia kwenye mahusiano yenye ndoa, kwa madai kwamba mimi bado ni mdogo, mimi bado nahitaji kula bata, mimi bado nahitaji starehe. Lakini huyo mtu tayari alikuwa fixated kwenye hatua ya kwamba nataka nimuoe huyu binti, lakini yeye kwa sababu ya marafiki labda pia na kujiona bado kuingia kwenye ndoa. Lakini kiuhalisia 25, 26 sio umri mdogo. Ni binti ambaye unajitambua na unaweza ukawa mama na tena na watoto juu.
Yes.
Lakini katika hilo wimbi la marafiki kukuambia wewe bado ni mdogo bwana, unaenda kuwa mama katika umri huu, utazeeka bana. Hiyo sasa unakuta huyo mwanaume ana vigezo vyote kabisa vya kuwa baba bora, mwanaume ambaye anaweza akakutunza, mwanaume ambaye mnaweza mkatengeneza familia nzuri, kufikia malengo yako, hata kama ulikuwa katika hatua nyuma akakusogeza. Lakini kwa sababu ya marafiki au na wewe pia kuwa na ile wimbi kwamba mimi bado ni mdogo, mimi bado siwezi kuingia kwenye ndoa hiyo. Na ni kweli siku hizi kuna hata aka kamsemo, kuna blogger anaitwa Datgilviv anaposigi sana, unakuta anaweka kitu anasema sisi bado ni wadogo bwana, sisi mabinti bado ni wadogo, tuwezi tuka kwenye mahusiano, tuwezi tukaitwa wamama sasa hivi, bado tuna yani bado inachemka, hatuwezi bado kwenye hiyo situation ya kuitwa wamama, sijui mama fulani, mama sijui nani. Yani sasa hiyo mtu anaweza akaiona, hiyo inaweza kaa ni kichekesho au kibwagizo, lakini mtu akaichukulia ile kama katika ni uhalisia kwamba kweli mimi bado ni mdogo, siwezi kuitwa mama sasa hivi, bado ninahitaji kula bata, lakini umri unaenda. Sasa akifikisha miaka 30, hiyo pressure ndio ina kick in sasa. Kwamba jamani, sina mtoto, sijaolewa, sina kazi ya maana mjini, sifanyi chochote ambacho labda unaweza kusema labda kina impact. Yule mtu alishagonga mlango toka mara ya kwanza kumpa all the attention, kumsaidia katika biashara yake, kumsukuma kufanya nini. Kama hata bata alikuwa anahitaji kuongeza elimu angemsaidia, lakini biki kuchagua nini wanaita influence ya marafiki, na yeye kujiona bado ni mtoto, inamwacha nyuma, inamsogeza nyuma. Ndio ile tunasikia kuna wanawake sasa hivi wana miaka 40 na hawana familia, hawana watoto, wapo mjini. Ndio hao sasa ndio wanaingia kwenye kategori ya mami, mashangazi. Wanasikizwa wanaitwa mashangazi wa mjini. Mashangazi. Lakini kumbe akiwa katika umri wake wa ubinti alikuwa very smart, alikuwa labda ni msichana ambaye anaeleweka na nini, lakini kwa sababu ya kuchagua marafiki sijui hizi nini, akajikuta mpaka miaka 40 hana mtoto, hana nini. Ndio hao sasa hivi mjini wanaitwa mashangazi wengine.
Okay.
Wanalea vijana.
Na kweli. Okay guys, thank you very very much. Enjoy the podcast. I think our time is up. Thank you so much. Naamini we have all learned from this. We have all learned from each other, and people out there will also learn by watching the podcast. Thank you so much. Thank you for accepting the invitation. Thank you for being here. Thank you for cooperating. Thank you so much. So guys, bye. Till next time.
Bye.